Hi, my name's Kaylee Spies, and I did my project on Alzheimer's disease. I have been kind of doing all my projects in anatomy on Alzheimer's disease because of my grandpa. My great-grandpa actually had Alzheimer's disease when I was about 12. He dealt with it for 5 years until he lost to it and passed away. He was a completely different person when he didn't have this disease, and I remember him as who he was before this and not who he was after the disease. I remember going to see him and he wouldn't know who we were. He was aggressive. He just wasn't himself, and I remember being scared of him, like, I don't even know who you are, or do you even know who I am anymore? And he really didn't. A memory I have is us cousins would go and line up, and we would say our names and how we're doing and all this stuff, and by 5 minutes into it, he'd be like, who are you? Why are you here? What are you doing? So that was hard. It was hard to watch him go through this. I currently work at a facility in memory care. I absolutely love it now. I can kind of understand what my grandpa was going through, and I'm on the other side of things because I'm with these people all the time, 40 hours a week, just understanding this problem, this disease. Alzheimer's starts within the brain. It is a brain disease. The cause of Alzheimer's is unfortunately still being studied and not yet fully understood. They don't know what causes it. They don't know why people are getting it. Family history may play into it. Since my grandpa had it, my mom possibly could have a higher chance of getting it. I probably could. We just don't know. The lifestyle plays into it, the environmental changes, and genetics. Nerve cells and tissues affected by Alzheimer's. The loss of brain tissue. The cortex shrinks up, which causes the ability to plan, think, and remember just goes away. They just forget how to do those things. Ventricles grow larger, fewer synapses, and nerve cells. Other body systems affected. Digestive systems, such as eating and swallowing. I know at my memory care facility, we have people that are on mechanical soft diets and puree diets and thickened liquids, and it's because they can't eat or swallow anymore. It's hard for them. They're choking. Their airways get blocked because they lose that ability. The neuromuscular system, they lose their ability to use their muscles. Things such as picking up a cup becomes hard, or I know, we'll try and paint their fingernails, and having their hand just stay flat is hard for them. Or they lose their ability to walk and they can't walk anymore. Stuff like that. Signs and symptoms. Memory loss, memory lapses. I know that a lot of the times when you're talking to them, they're going back to a different time. Mom and dad are still there. Great-grandpa and grandma and grandpa's house, their car's outside when they haven't had their car for years. Just things like that. They take you kind of on a little time machine back. So, repeating questions and statements, constantly asking things, saying things out of the ordinary, forgetting appointments, forgetting names of family members, mood swings, disbelief in others, wandering, anxiety, and depression. I know that a lot of the times family members will come in and they'll be like, I don't know my mom and dad anymore. I don't know this person. And I thought about that with my grandpa, is like, I didn't know him. This is a completely different person. What did you do with my grandpa? And that's sad because it is like learning a new person. They could have been the sweetest person on earth, and then all of a sudden they're getting mad over something so small because this Alzheimer's disease is just taking over their brain, or they're constantly having mood swings. They're happy one moment, sad another. They're going through anxiety and depression. I mean, I don't think that anyone that woke up in the morning and didn't know the person who was taking care of you, or didn't know what day it was, or what time of day it was, or what you were doing waking up in this bed, or just everything, waking up in a facility, I think we'd all have anxiety and depression. Doing unreasonable things like eating unedible foods. There's some things that you just can't explain that they do, and they think that it's okay, and that they don't understand that, no, that's not how we do things. Like eating edible foods, eating things like a napkin on the table, or putting hot coffee on themselves, or sitting down on the floor to take a nap, things like that. For cure and treatments, unfortunately, there is no cure. There's currently non-drug and drug treatments. I know a lot of times at the facility that I work at, we have things like sleeping aids, or we have therapy there to kind of help them work through things. We have anxiety medicine just to help them relax and calm down. Short-term and long-term effects, 2 to 4 years into Alzheimer's, they have repeated recent memory loss, repeated questions, mood swings, and a hard time driving. Most of the time they do get their license pulled. 4 to 10 years, coordination and mobility is affected by tremors and slowness, cannot care for themselves. I do see this at the facility where people go on hospice when they're in their late stages of Alzheimer's. And my references. Thank you for taking time to listen to my PowerPoint.